I'm Molly McHugh with Digital Trends, and here with hashtag this, and gonna talk about E-Etiquette today.
Go ahead. Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Nail done, hair done, everything did.
So we're gonna talk about Klout, and we're gonna talk about sites like it, and there's quite a few. There are more every day. I would say the other most popular one is Cred. But because Klout has kind of set the standard for this E-rating sort of thing, that's probably the example I'm going to use the most. I understand there are others, but bear with me, that's the one we're going to talk about for the time being. So, a little background on Klout before I basically tell you how you need to be aware of being polite with it. Basically, what sites like this do are they leverage all your social networks to tell you how important you are online or what kind of influence you have on the people around you. So they look at how many people follow you, and the ratio, how many people follow you to how many people you follow, who talks to you, how much they talk to you, what you talk about, how many people retweet what you say or follow you or subscribe to you, all of this information, and then they spit out a score. And the score is kind of your online rank, and it's how important you are and how popular you are. It's kind of a popularity contest for the internet, which the internet I already thought was a popularity contest, but Klout has kind of quantified that. So there's lots of controversy as to how important this number is or how accurate or what it even means, but that's not so much the point as to how Klout can be a huge pain. So basically you can get stuff because you have a good Klout or a good Cred score. Companies want to woo you. They want you to say stuff about them online. They want you to use their product, and they'll give it to you for free if you can create enough content around their product. So I understand the use of it, and I won't argue that, because if large companies and large brands pay attention, then obviously it has a point. The problem is that it doesn't matter to anyone else. Nobody else. So if you're applying for a job and it's to a small to medium-sized business who does not give away much stuff ever at all, do not tell them your Klout score. I am embarrassed for you if you've done this. If somebody applied to a place I was running, like a small digital agency even, and they told me their Klout score and it was impressively high, I would still be so embarrassed that they thought that mattered to me, that I probably wouldn't hire them. Because there are certain people your Klout score matters to, and there are a whole lot of people it doesn't. So let's do a little more going over this. So yeah, resumes. I already touched on it a little bit, but here's when you should and shouldn't put it on there. If you're applying for some sort of job with Coca-Cola or GM, they might care about your Klout score. I'm not even going to say it's a guarantee, but they might. If you're going for a marketing position that has to do with the internet and it has to do with creating buzz around a product on something like Twitter, it's a pretty specific job. Please take into account how specific I'm being. Then maybe your Klout score will matter. So in that case, by all means, show off. If it's not, don't tell them. First of all, any business that doesn't have a lot to do with Twitter in the first place just probably won't know what you're talking about, and that'll be embarrassing. And second of all, they might laugh at you, and you might not get the job because of that. So, know your audience is what I'm saying here. It's not like a LinkedIn profile where you should just always list that on your resume no matter the job. Everybody has the internet, but not everybody cares about Twitter. I know they're big, but still, know your audience. The second thing is that don't ask everyone to participate in your stupid Klout contests. There is this feature where you can go head-to-head against someone, basically competing for who has the most Klout in X subject. So, I know more about digital cameras than you, and I'm going to challenge you to a Klout contest, and I'm going to request via multiple social networks that my friends and contacts vote for me. Do not do this. If it is some sort of promotional thing, if you're doing it with another company, again, there are exceptions, but to request the average Facebook user that you went to college and or high school and or are related to give you a +K for something as meaningless as this is just upsetting. I don't even want to respond to half of the emails I get from people that I do care about, and I'm certainly not going to give a +K to someone I follow on Twitter. It's just useless. So really, please avoid asking your friends and family for this. Business contacts, again, audience, otherwise they won't want it either, but there are exceptions. Just please. No one wants to do it. I have more friends than you have contest past 8th grade. So, moving on. Yeah, I mean, really, that's all there is to say about it. You really need to be careful who you're contacting to interact with you on Klout. It's fine to have one. It's fine to look at it. It's fine if you get some rewards. Absolutely, cash them in. I'm not going to judge you. I've cashed in the free business cards. I did it. And I didn't choose to share that information across every single social network I have because nobody cares. So really, it's a personal thing. You know, take it into account. If you feel like the position you're going for in your career depends on a Klout score, then by all means, do what you can to raise that Klout score. But know your audience. Be careful who you invite to these +K contests because they are obnoxious. And don't take too much stock into Klout. It's not the biggest deal in the world. There are far more important things. So don't get too worried if you're below somebody. It really just doesn't matter a whole lot. And if you get too swept up in trying to convince everyone in your social circle to care about your Klout score, you're not going to have a social circle. So that is my E-Etiquette advice for Klout. It's really just my giant warning on this, if I could say one thing, is just many grains of salt should be taken with the entire experiment. If you disagree, please let me know. I know it's a very controversial sort of thing, the Klout score. Sound off, please, by all means. But otherwise, that's going to do it for E-Etiquette. I'm Molly McHugh with Digital Trends, and this has been #this.